Hello everyone and welcome to Barca News. It's January 13th, 2023 and Barcelona have filed a lawsuit against La Liga in Catalan courts. Also, the club have requested Yannick Carrasco in exchange of Memphis Depay, and Barcelona are reportedly very interested in signing an Israeli Wonderkid. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and as I reported in yesterday's video, Barcelona have officially qualified to the Spanish Super Cup final after defeating Real Betis in the semi-final through penalty shootout after both teams drew 2-2. Now Barcelona had a very great first half where they had a lot of fluidity, they had a great collective play, and as a result Barcelona were able to impose their dominance, control the match and create a lot of chances, which resulted in Barcelona's first goal. Now unfortunately Barcelona reduced their intensity during the second half and they lost the control of the match, and as a result Real Betis were able to create a lot of chances and a lot of danger, and at the end Real Betis were able to score 2 goals against Barcelona, which sent this match to penalty shootout where Barcelona were able to win 2-4. Now this seems to be a common problem for Barcelona in the past few matches, where the team starts out very strong and they perform really well. However, they later reduce their intensity, and as a result the opponents are able to impose their dominance, create a lot of danger, and that's how Espanyol were able to draw the match in the Catalan Derby. That's how Intercity were able to score 3 goals against Barcelona in the Copa del Rey. And even though Barcelona were able to defeat Atletico de Madrid, the Madrid-based club came very close to scoring several times against Barcelona, but thanks to Marc ter Stegen and the defense, they were unable to do so, and Barcelona were able to take home those 3 very important points. Now Xavi seemed to be very angry at his players for reducing their intensity and allowing Real Betis to dictate the tempo of the match. And cameras caught Xavi's rant with his player during the extra times, and he was heard saying, "We're all standing, no one is moving. On my effing mother, guys, it's a final, a title. My effing God. Let's just go. Let's go." Now, as I mentioned in my post-match analysis in yesterday's video, I thought that Xavi had made some substitution which I didn't quite understand, because he substituted Dembélé, who was being the best player on the field, creating a lot of danger through the left flank, and he also substituted Frenkie de Jong when he was having a good match in that pivot position. Well, it's now being reported that both Dembélé and Frenkie de Jong had felt some discomfort and some pain. So as a precaution, Xavi decided to sub both players out in order to prevent any injuries, especially in the case of Dembélé, who's been dealing with injuries for the past several years. Now Barcelona will now face off against Real Madrid in the Super Cup final, which is set to take place on Sunday, January the 15th. And we're gonna have another El Clasico match this season. Now on to the news that Barcelona have filed a lawsuit against the Spanish League, alleging unfair treatment because they weren't allowed to increase their wage limit by 15%, like the clubs who did sign the CVC deal were allowed to. Now there's a lot to unpack here, so I'm gonna go step by step in order to explain everything that's going on. And as you might recall, over the summer I reported that the La Liga's president Javier Tebas had arranged for the CVC Investment Partners, which is an investment fund, to pump 2 billion euros into the first and second division of the Spanish League in exchange for 11% of media rights of these clubs for a period of 50 years. So in other words, all clubs in the first and second division of the Spanish League agreed to sell 11% of their TV rights for a period of 50 years in exchange for a chunk of those 2 billion euros that the CVC fund agreed to invest in the Spanish League. Now, this money that was to be distributed amongst all the clubs in the first and second divisions of the Spanish League, 70% of it was supposed to go to infrastructure, to improve the infrastructure of these clubs. 15% was supposed to be used for these clubs to pay any debt that they might have. And the remainder 50% was for these clubs to use to increase their wage limit so they can sign more players. Now, Barcelona had reservations about signing onto this deal because they thought that the 50-year period was too long, and they tried to negotiate with Javier Tebas a shorter period. However, Javier Tebas said no. So as a result, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Athletic Club de Bilbao, and Ibiza, who play in the second division, all opted out of this deal. So Javier Tebas and the remainder clubs signed this deal with the CVC fund. Now, all the clubs who signed the CVC deal were allowed to increase their wage limit by 15%, but Barcelona, since they didn't sign the CVC deal, they weren't allowed to increase their wage limit. And that was during a time where Barcelona were over their wage limit, and as a result, they were unable to sign any players. Now, in order to sign players, Barcelona had to activate economic levers, such as selling 25% of their TV rights to the investment company Sixth Street for a period of 25 years, and selling 49% of Barca studios in order to generate enough funds to increase their wage limit and to be able to make all the signings that they made during the summer transfer market. Now, there's also the issue of Javier Tebas, who has told Barcelona that they're no longer going to be able to sell any more patrimony or activate any more economic levers to increase their wage limit. So as a result, Barcelona were unable to sign any players during this transfer market. And in order for Barcelona to sign players next summer, they're going to have to generate money in different ways, such as reducing their wage limit by negotiating salary reductions or offloading players, or signing more partnerships, more sponsorships, or generating money through friendly matches. Now, Barcelona appealed La Liga's decision to not allow them to increase their wage limit by 15% like the other clubs who did sign the CVC deal were allowed to. However, their appeal was rejected by the Spanish Football Federation. So now Barcelona have filed a lawsuit in Catalan court against the Spanish League, alleging that they're being treated unfairly because they're not being allowed to increase their wage limit by 15%, and that La Liga is creating an unfair playing field. Now, La Liga are saying that they're not too worried about this lawsuit because Barcelona's appeal was rejected by the Spanish Football Federation, and La Liga is also arguing that when Barcelona activated their economic levers, they were able to increase their wage limit by 100%. So being allowed to increase their wage limit by another 15% would be unfair to the other clubs in the Spanish league. Now, there's no doubt that this case will most likely drag on for several months, maybe even years. So we are going to be talking about it for quite some time, but it's definitely going to be very interesting to see what the courts end up deciding. Now, on to the news that Barcelona have requested Yannick Carrasco in exchange of Memphis Depay. Now, as I reported previously, with the departure of Joao Felix to Chelsea on loan, Atletico de Madrid are in the market to try to find a replacement for their Portuguese star, and they have chosen Memphis Depay as a replacement for Joao Felix. Now, Barcelona and Atletico de Madrid are currently negotiating the loan of Memphis Depay, and it's reported that Barcelona are in favor of this move because they would be removing Depay's salary off their books. Plus, they're looking to make a small fee off the transfer of the Dutch forward. Now, as I reported in yesterday's video, Memphis Depay seems to be also in favor of making a move to Atletico de Madrid since he's looking for more playing time. And now Barcelona are trying to negotiate the loan of the Dutch forward with the Madrid-based club. Now, Atletico Madrid are reportedly not willing to pay Barcelona a fee for the transfer of Depay. So as a result, they offered to exchange Thomas Lemar for Depay, which reportedly Barcelona rejected this offer, and instead they made a counter offer, which was Yannick Carrasco in exchange for Depay. Now, Yannick Carrasco is a 29-year-old Belgian winger who's reportedly not happy with his situation at the club and with his coach, Cholo Simeone. And it's reported that as a result of this news, Yannick Carrasco is now very excited to come to Barcelona and is hoping that this deal goes through. Now, Yannick Carrasco's agent is Penny Savi, who's the same agent as Robert Lewandowski, who reportedly has a very good relationship with both Jean Laporta and Jordi Cruyff, since they were all business partners in some ventures that they had in Israel. And so Penny Savi is also in favor of making this move happen. So we're going to have to see whether Barcelona will be able to pull this switch. Now, Barcelona consider the arrival of Yannick Carrasco to the squad as a boost to the entire team because he is a winger, unlike Memphis Depay. And also because they consider that Ansu Fati is closer to becoming a center forward rather than a winger. And with Ferran Torres not performing that well, they think that only Rafinha and Dembele are the only good quality wingers that the squad have. So by bringing Yannick Carrasco, they will be adding one more quality winger to the squad. Now, speaking of Israel, it's reported that Barcelona are very interested in signing the Israeli Wonderkid, Oscar Gluch. Now, Oscar Gluch is an 18-year-old midfielder who currently plays for Maccabi Tel Aviv, and he's reportedly one of the most promising talents in Israeli football, and he has been dubbed as the Israeli Wonderkid. Now, Jordi Cruyff, who spent some time at Maccabi Tel Aviv, brought the attention of the club to this player, and it's reported that Barcelona have been tracking Oscar Gluch for quite some time, and they seem to be very impressed by this player, and they are very interested in signing him as a bet for the future. Now, Oscar Gluck has a 7 million euro release clause, which is of course very much affordable, and it's reported that Maccabi Tel Aviv received a huge offer from the Turkish club Besiktas during this winter transfer market, but Maccabi Tel Aviv said no because they're not willing to lose the player during this winter transfer market, but they will be okay of selling him next summer, which is when Barcelona are hoping to sign him. Now, it seems that this kid has attracted the attention of many clubs, and there's over a dozen European clubs interested in signing him, such as AS Roma, Ajax, and Dortmund. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I'd like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, peace, Barça.